Bro, if you're the leader in your group and you're the strongest one in your group, I think you're in the wrong group. And here's why. In this video, I'm going to explain to you the concept of brotherhood. I'm going to explain to you the concept of community and why it is one of the forefront drivers of self improvement, of discipline, of real motivation. Because the thing is, if Instagram motivation worked, if watching Andrew Tate box and smoke and tell you how amazing it will be to have a Bugatti, if it worked, everybody would be doing it, but everyone's just consistently in that loop and they've got you. They've got you good. You know it. You know they've got you good. You're scrolling right now and you know they've got you good. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to lay out what actually happens. Here's how it happens. I'm not even going to get straight to the point. All right. When you're with a community, so first of all, it's a lot easier to fail alone because you don't have any accountability. If you think you're good enough to hold yourself accountable, you're gravely mistaken. I can't even hold myself accountable most of the time. I am relying on consistent systemization of my patterns and habit seeking to keep me on ground, not accountability. Because the thing is, because we're also bombarded with the fact that we need to take care of ourselves and perform self love and be like our best friend and our best self, we often end up using that to convince ourselves that what we're doing is okay. Easy example, doom scrolling. You know you shouldn't be doing it. You know it's a waste of time. Many of the people that come to me and we talk and they say like, hey, I just don't have time. And I'm like, okay, cool. Pull up your phone and show me your screen time. Even if we took 1 hour of their screen time away, brother, that's 1 hour to focus on yourself. So doom scrolling clearly doesn't work and being alone doesn't work. So what is going to work? It's community. It's a brotherhood. It's a brotherhood focused on self-improvement. And how do you get that? Well, the thing is, a lot of these communities that at least I've been exposed to are very, very centered on one way of thinking. My community, the one that I created for the simple reason of this, to provide a resource to young men to have a community and to elevate themselves to become better, is not rooted in anything political. It's not rooted in anything of ideology of like, oh, you need 10 women, no, you need one woman. There's a framework based in science that works, and you follow it and you show people your wins. That's it. Why does that help? Well, if you decide on a Monday or a Sunday that you're not going to the gym that day because you're just not feeling up to it or whatever excuse your brain conjures up with, the lower self at least conjures up with, you have no one to tell you that that's not according to what you said 2 weeks ago. You have a voice in your head that's in the room next door that says, tuk, 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 hey, what's going, but you ignore it. You don't have anyone saying, hey, you said you would go to the gym. What happened? You have a voice that says it's okay to not go to the gym because it's okay. I might as well, right? Problem with that is your entire journey has now become much, much more difficult. And here's the crazy part. I know you want a community. I know you want a brotherhood. I know you crave it because you have friends who you engage in particular acts with and friends that you engage in fun with which feels amazing. We're social creatures, but you never found a group who wants to improve themselves. And this is another topic where when you go on a self-improvement journey, your previous friends, oftentimes you have to lessen your relationship with them because it's not serving you anymore. But you know you need a brotherhood. See, all the things I say, it's so funny. You know all of them, but I'm going to lay it out anyway. Being in a brotherhood, being in a community where you've told them what your goals are, well, guess what? Now you have someone to watch you not do the goal. And that alone, the spotlight on you, is enough to get you to go anyway. Because it's like, what would you rather have? Would you rather go to the gym because 5 people literally messaged you and said, you have to go to the gym? You said you would go and feel a little bit bad, but still go and then feel great afterwards because you did the thing you were going to say you do? Or do whatever it is you're doing alone, where it's like, I'm not going to go to the gym. Okay, cool. And then feel bad and feel the guilt when you eat those bag of chips or whatever. And just, you've been through the cycle long enough to know how it feels. So now the question really comes down to what kind of brotherhood should you join? And why should you do it in the first place? Is because you want to become a better version of yourself. You have higher self goals. Higher self goals are rooted in fundamental tranquility and fundamental systems. Any entrepreneur, anybody who's successful has relied on systems to get themselves there, and habits. Habits plus systems equals success in my book and any sane person's book. And you want that. Nothing wrong with it. I want it. You want money. You want a good woman. You want a good family. You want to be a good provider to your son and your children. You want to leave a legacy. You want to be fit. You want all of those things. That's all higher self stuff. Because really, the lower self stuff, what is it going to lead to? Well, if you are engaging in lower self activities, you're going to eat a lot of junk food out of false self care. That's going to lead you to probably not feel the greatest mentally. you're also gonna not be in shape. Okay. When you're not in shape and when you're engaging in lower self activities, you're also not gonna have as much motivation or ambition to do stuff. When you don't have ambition or motivation to do stuff, you're gonna sit in this constant loop and doom scroll your problems away. Well, that's gonna lead you to wasting time. When you waste time long enough, we all know time flies. When you waste time long enough, it's gonna lead you to looking back on your life and getting a reality check and thinking, wow, I didn't do anything that I said I was going to do. And that's not a fun feeling. And before you know it, you're 40. You're 40. You're 40. And you realize your entire life flew by because you engaged in lower self activities for so long and distracted yourself for so long that you almost feel like time's running out and now you have nothing left to give, which is not true, but for the sake of conversation, you know, that's not fun. That's not where anybody really wants to be, unfortunately. But that's what's going to happen when you engage in lower self activities. A man who's hard on himself, life will treat him much easier than someone who's easier on himself, because the person who's easier on himself is not developing the adversity skills that is needed to actually go through life and deal with it in a much more healthier, number one, and with ease, dealing things out of ease. Um, so yeah, you should join a community, maybe mine or maybe another one. Mine is free, so but the only reason why is you need brotherhood and accountability, because you want to become better. You want to become a better version of yourself, a higher self, and leave a legacy and be someone to your children that maybe your parents weren't to you. It's pretty much the summary of this video. It's yeah. I hope it helped. Subscribe. There, my school community is in the bio. If it's something you're interested in, I also have a completely free program called Unshakable that can potentially help you see things a different way. And overall, stay tuned, man.